Oke, koneksi sangat bagus. Telecom dulu, habis itu Art on Quest. Art Quest dulu lah, Telecomnya nanti. Haha. Oh, ini story quest. Tapi nanti World Quest. Oh my god.
I don't have much to keep me occupied. Old thought patterns start to creep back in and...
Bateraiku habis, HP-ku. Tidak. Aku nggak punya. Harusnya Traveler bisa sih, tapi ya nantilah.
You want me on your
Kayaknya tuh aku kesini karena mau buka ini ya. Nah, ini tuh di mana ya?
Solidify.
I'm going in.
The depths back.
Even better than I imagined. It's my lucky day.
Oh, di situ. Oke.
The wind knows me. Time to go.
Oh, tidak, sudah nambah area baru. Mager. Aku belum buka TP sini ya. Menghati. Spiral habis juga udah reset kan? Oke.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right. After we parted on the last day of the Subzerus festival, I left the city and saw what the traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream. Where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear.
Gila, spoilernya sekarang mau jadi bos sudah ada ya. Gila.
I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara.
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. Not a moment too soon.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious.
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said,
Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you what that was about, and if the red sky was related to Conria.
It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up.
A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracy.
Okay, so what does the message mean?
I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently
Terus
capable
jualan
of
apa tuh yang
doing
lewat?
that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it.
So the tree in the vision is Irminsul?
Decipher, anjir.
Oh, Tainari also said that
Cryptid
Irminsul is
kah? Oh, gila,
Is it
cryptography,
because of the contaminated consciousness?
Genshin Impact. Gila.
But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for
Harus
you was all in
dienkripsi,
vain.
didekripsi.
The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. With you here, we may have a chance at deciphering it. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This is the only one left. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
How did you do that? Poor Catherine.
Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're
Ngambil
wearing
apa
the
ya?
Akasha terminal.
Oh, apa itu namanya? Silver Queen.
The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet.
Bionic Snezhnayan puppet. Ah.
Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her. What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana?
story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me back to Sumeru. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the same... However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing.
Ya, aku lagi makan coklat kok. Yan, aku mau maling sekarang. Oh, sekarang mau masukmu tuh.
So, the sages basically put their new archon under house arrest? How dare they? Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida?
Kamu mau kata sekarang mau coba gimana?
In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation.
Oh, tak kira sekarang mau astaga. My bad. Aku belum main sama nggak main, jadi nggak tahu namanya. Oh, yang kayak Oni Kabuto. Kalau lagi aton quest aku.
And I...
Yeah, you gotta...
Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha.
Yang was unlock dessert kabari ae. Kalem siap.
Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life every once in a while.
Kue gak selesai no ya, you think? Kamu udah dapat nganunya, ting? Weaponnya juga. Dan sepakat seorang ini ya.
Doing all that should be enough. There's never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line.
Hokimu kayaknya tahun ini dipakai buat Sino deh.
I wonder what caused them to go down this path and what they hope to achieve. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the traveler hadn't broken the Sub-Zero Samsara, I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. And all the people of interest seem to purposely avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. I think they're deliberately trying to hide something.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited...
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives. You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams?
Yeah, it's been such a long time. No one's noticed something's up?
Setengah aja lah.
It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection.
Misdirection?
The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeru, even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to facilitate their research. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come out strongly again. Anyway, but by now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams. Got it! To be honest, oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now.
Go and get some sleep. Leave everything to us.
What a relief.
Traveler? Paimon?
Maybe you were wake up a sleepwalker. We happened to walk by, so we thought we'd wait for you to wake up.
I see. Huh.
Ngawur, Nahida ngawur.
Some time in Sumeru City. But ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Oh, we can't just...
Ad Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on...
Wait,
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the
huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears... In that case, please go to Port Armos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphan...
Hey, that's not any better.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you and...
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
包咗條線釘先攞出書啦。
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida?
Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zerus Fest. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground.
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zerus Festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunya?
Yes, I paid her. Her condition is stabilized. But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero?
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it some...
Oh, good.
Dream emptiness perception. Nggak tahu perception aslinya apa.
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha.
Have you already caught the sages' attention?
I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly.
Oh.
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages. No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocents. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goal.
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru. Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already.
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal.
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the academe.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still...
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now. Paimon still remembers the...
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert, and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve as the sage's assistant.
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many disasters. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just...
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their scheme. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her.
Yang nggak sih, emang
That'll be our
observasi.
chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
Who's this kid?
This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the fortune teller about Setaria?
No, I already have enough information on Setaria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and key characteristics.
Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? No problem at all. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on... So many people will fall for you. How could that be?
So many people will fall for you.
Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is, suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
This should be our final stop. Sataria is always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really
It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning.
Sure. But you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it.
Ada basementnya ya? Gila.
So, with 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems.
Anjas, yan ngarahanmu yang main Genshin sekono saiki worth it ra apa neh F2P. Worth aja sih, Dik. Cuman yang capek ya paling grindingnya itu, leveling up dan lain sebagainya. F2P nggak masalah kok. Apa main jajal di?
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities.
Gak ngerti saya gue dipol emang 30 giga nih nggak salah. 30 giga Genshin. Ditambah kalau kamu baru main toh dapetin apa ya primogem yang buat gacha itu gampang soalnya apa turah-turah banyak.
I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too
Serius,
smart
story-nya
to
masih
be
berlanjut,
innocent
belum tamat
pets.
ini. Lama tamatnya.
If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her,
Ih,
her
nyopetnya susah
reaction
banget
would
dah.
probably be very different.
So, you mean
Ayo,
you're
Dik, main,
going
Dik.
to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been...
You're not always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Ini apa nih? Terima kasih loh primogemnya loh. Ketik nari udah ditambahin di sini, oke. Weaponnya nggak nambah dong ya Tuhan. Menghadeh. Ini apa nih? Aku belum punya ini. Claymore yang mainnya LA Mastery apa itu? Gacha siapa ya? Nggak tahu aku. Jam mana jam? 12.00.
Here she comes! Satori is here! Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin possessing them. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kinda nervous. Okay, let's go.
Kamu starting to feel kinda nervous. Kamu nggak ngapa-ngapain anjing,
Looks like
nganggur.
they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
Aku jawab ini gimana?
Are you sure?
Well, actually they have many names.
Huh, I see. I imagine that must be...
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
Anjir. Jiggle Pix Paimon.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth. The gods are asking, Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? To the gods?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a second. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
Insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset, too.
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida.
All I know are some abstract Harabatot theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. Anyway, enough of that.
He's at Akeem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away!
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still—
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos, and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a different—
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of the Scarlet King?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel, but once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything.
Ano? Kemana lo?
Sataria's already started talking.
So, Shishan, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Jishan, don't tell me that you've converted to the Scarlet King as well!
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia, and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects.
Please, please stop!
She's kena mental dok.
Sataria's still trying to run from her problem.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards!
This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the...
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Kira Taiwan ternyata bawa
What an
kawan.
absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding... I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the...
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about...
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zerus festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city. And even the sages are still quite...
To fight against the
Oh, ini yang
academia,
dimaksud
we'll need
Totore
to
ya.
figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is
Iya
there a
kah?
way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project.
Yang kayak gimana ya?
One thing though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method.
The academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right.
So, if I were to successfully...
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted.
Iya, jangan
we
ateis,
managed
Mbak.
to bring Sataya
Jangan
to our
ateis.
side.
Jangan seperti teman saya ngaku ateis hanya karena malas ibadah.
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild.
Buang sampah bentar. Bentar, tulisannya apa nih? Wait until the following night. Oh. Wait until the following night. Besok ya.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home.
Ini dia.
This
Kayaknya ini deh.
It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Catherine, we're here! Oh, that's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect Catherine's identity.
Yep, Paimon's right.
Tumben kamu
Cannot
benar.
fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness in the outside world.
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just switch off. What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's...
No, I think he's right. It really is a lot quieter than usual. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this...
Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guards, but also to get everyone to go to sleep early, just so we can exchange the documents in peace.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and meet her as we planned.
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us, Paimon feels a little safer. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
Oh, ada word questnya juga ya.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
The triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor.
My God.
If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
Suaranya gile. Voice aktornya, berat banget dah suaranya. Nggak berat banget sih, tetap beratan Zhongli tapi satisfying banget sih suaranya.
This should be far enough. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the Academia came back recently. And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the Academia, but what are the Fatui after this time? Yeah, things would be... Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around. You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia forest? Even though he turned it down at the time, he might still know something. There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville.
Gandharvaville. Jauh. Mi Primogems, apapun akan kulakukan. Mana-mana. Mi Primogems, aduh. My bad.
Let's light it up.
Jatuh masih. Indro nggak bisa dibawa pakai itu ya.
Yes. Very nice.
Mau ngaktifin ini aja lah. Kayaknya perlu karakter Dendro, tapi apa Al-Haitham masa? Kok bayangannya bisa pindah loh, what the fuck?
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate.
The outcast? But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat.
You're up, travel.
Yalah, lu nggak bakal tempur kan? Gak guna lu.
Everybody stand.
Cascade. A new punching.
Into the wind.
Gather.
Let's light it up.
Be still.
It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Oh, semua ini ya.
Stabilize.
One with nature.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, but this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an amp. Going up against smart people is tough.
Ini RMS bukan ding.
Time to go.
Ya ada kole. Lihat narinya mana?
Oh, it's the traveler in Pakale. It's nice to. To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a as a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. Huh? He left? What? Isn't Tainari always saying that? I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure to delegate all his tasks using a schedule. To leave in such a hurry? Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia, and Pardis Thiai is something like the Amorta's research base. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Pardis Thiai. A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just... Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Pardis Thiai. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living without... Got it. Will do. See you later.
Paris gak dikasih tahu ya. Alah, telepon apa ini? Hah. Ternyata orang mau nipu, anjay. Ini ya Paris Thiai. Nggak tahu yang namanya apa tadi.
Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion, but you're... Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the Doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even control human mind. Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was facing the Doctor by myself. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of sky. Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy. Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust. Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what happened. When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the Doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving information into their minds. Instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still within my power to fix. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture me.
What a relief. I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's
Oh,
minds,
relief itu. Oh
which
no.
means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it...
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? Ugh, it feels like he's toying with us. What a nasty piece of work. Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatui.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's DI?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direction you were... You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Did you find any leads?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with...
Okay, let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Time to go.
Hah? Bukan Teknari. Terus Teknari di mana?
Traveler? It is you!
Ah, the voice! It's Hypatia!
Ah, what a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the...
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here, hardly anyone has even talked to me.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to leave the Avidia Forest means... Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporna life?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the divine.
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime... When my consciousness made contact with the gods. Ah, what a supreme and unparalleled experience that was!
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my promise to you. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection to the consciousness of the divine.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try...
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneal with me. This is still a crucial part of the ceremony.
We're using that...
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your consciousness.
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
How much? Why? Senior task.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no periporno life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait, have I already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed. After that, Kainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? Wait, then where is Nate?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. I don't think this can be achieved with current human technology. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies."
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the sanctuary of Surathana for good this time. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra careful. Even in a moonless night, a shout... Paimon knows the moon illusions of... Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who is occupying the traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard for us to explain right now.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, safe to say I have witnessed that for myself. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so I trust you.
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question.
That. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence?
Oh, jadi sekarang Mas mau dijadiin Tuhan gitu ya?
That's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god.
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardes Dii and began searching for a way to return her to her normal self. If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile at Aru village. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanali, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. But then, what is the connection between creating a new...
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out. How about you, Tainari?
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of wisdom go with you.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're off then.
Oh, desert, oke. Jauhnya. Oh, untung udah tak buka ya. Apa ini? Harus dibakar sih itu. Ini. Oh iya, ting bakar doang ya, lupa aku.
Off we go. Let's light it up.
Ayo sini, kita gelut sini.
Gather. This is order.
The wind knows me.
serinya ya, bukan nomor serinya tuh.
Let's light it up. One with nature. Wind strider.
Solidify.
Yes. Very nice.
Lanjut besok lah. Helikomnya nanti malam off stream aja. Nanti lanjutin di Twitch ya. Itu thank you buat yang udah mampir tadi. Apa sih? Oh, itu sama Andi. See you next stream.